Career Coffee Shop. I am James Schindler, Coordinator for the Career and Job Placement Office.
And I am Esmeralda Alvarez, Admissions Specialist. Good morning, James, and good morning, viewers. It is great to be here, and I am excited about today's guest lineup.
Couldn't agree more. As always, we have a lot of information to deliver in a small amount of time, so let's dive right in. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. We do appreciate your support. And if you are a first-time viewer, welcome. We're glad to have you with us this morning. This is our 4th episode of Career Coffee Shop, and I gotta tell you, we're having a great time and learning a lot about the resources Santa Fe and Alachua County have to offer. Our show is recorded live and designed to bring you the latest in workforce, career, and degree information, as well as referral to resources at Santa Fe College and in our community.
And why coffee, you ask? Coffee brings us together with thousands and different types of styles and choices to choose from. Is a great way to start your day and possibly help you do a little networking. This morning, I am enjoying a cup of French roast in my Santa Fe mug with almond milk and brown sugar. What about you, James?
Well, you know, with Saturday being the 4th of July and this being a short work week, I thought the extra kick from an espresso might do me some good. A double espresso should be even better. So that's my choice this morning, along with a bright red shirt and a very Independence Day tie. I would like to take a moment real quick and recognize one of our audience members for responding to last show's coffee question, which was, what is your favorite local coffee house?
Yes, May had commented Simplify, which is located here in Gainesville. It is not to be missed, and it is more of a deliciously hangout spot that happens to serve coffee. And it has such a community building kind of feeling, so I definitely recommend it. Thank you for commenting, May.
Yes, May, thank you very much for watching and contributing. Word of mouth is so important in the food industry especially, and we love to hear from our viewers about great local businesses. So I'm looking forward to trying Simplify. Today's viewer question is, what is your favorite instant coffee brand and why? And you'll know why I'm asking that in a little while. Today, our show opens with a visit to the Santa Fe College Career Exploration Center with Jimmy Yon and his team of dedicated professionals. They have the tools and resources to help you figure out where your skills and abilities and even your personality will be the perfect fit. Together, you can explore college programs and match them up to growing fields and occupations right here in our local area. Following that, our business administration, risk management, and insurance program team, led by Dr. Rimjim Banerjee Batiste, will be joining us to talk about business programs and some of the things you can expect in pursuing a very lucrative career in business administration. Then, we'll hear from Keena Winjin, Activity Coordinator with the Learning Commons. If there is one thing necessary to be successful in college, it's the need to know how to study, and she and her team are going to provide us some best practices to fine-tune these study skills and show you some of the amazing things they're doing to promote good study habits.
Unfortunately, we had a great employee presentation for today from McDonald's Corporation, but ran into some scheduling conflicts and they were not able to join us this morning. We're still working on getting them to come onto the future broadcast. So James will talk briefly about cover letters, which is super duper important, and how to really help you in your job search efforts. So once again, sit back, relax, grab your favorite cup of coffee or tea, and get ready to learn. If you have any questions throughout any type of presentation, feel free to add that into the chat box and we will answer those questions for you.
Fantastic. Now, let's see if we can learn a little bit of something about coffee. Is true or false? Coffee is loaded with beneficial nutrients.
I have to say true.
Very good. Coffee contains important nutrients that we all need to survive. A single cup of coffee contains 11% of the daily recommended amount of vitamin B2, 6% of vitamin B5, 3% of manganese and potassium, and 2% niacin and magnesium. So I'm not sure if that qualifies as loaded, but there are definitely some beneficial nutrients in a cup of joe.
And that's great to know. Now I have one for you, James. Who invented instant coffee and when?
There's the swinging back. You know what? I have no idea it is. I've never really been a fan of instant coffee, except in a pinch. But I'll tell you what, it's definitely come a long ways from where it was years ago. So, who is it?
So in 1906, a Belgian man living in Guatemala by the name of George Washington, not the first American president, invented instant coffee. That is going to be a hard name to forget.
Definitely. Now on to the show. I would like to welcome Jimmy Yon, Cindy, and Hunter from the Santa Fe Career Exploration Center. Feel free to share a coffee or hot beverage story if you have one, and then the floor is yours.
Hey James, I'm Cindy, and my hot beverage choice is Earl Grey tea with a bit of lavender, honey, and almond milk. Jimmy, what's your favorite? Oh, can you unmute Jimmy?
Okay, am I unmuted? Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'll take that as a yes. Okay, I'm not a purist, I'm a fanatic. I love coffee. My favorite coffee shop is my own house. I make good coffee here. Right now I'm having some Sumatra Tiger coffee, which is really rich and dark, and I love it. Good for the morning. So
Okay.
should we talk about Hitter some? Well, let me go ahead and tell you the little bit that I know about it. I say a little bit because I've only been working in the Career Center for 30 years. We call it the Career Exploration Center now. And it's a place where dreams are made real. Good dreams, no nightmares. Okay? We're dedicated to providing the best career and college information sources that will enable our users to make good choices, create workable plans towards having great careers. We want all of our users to have happy lives, and a good career is a big part of that happy life. Now, if you have a bad career, well, some people have the strength of will and strength of character to rise above an unhappy career, but that doesn't help. So we recommend do the best research you can, come up with the best plan possible, have the best career possible, and that's a big contribution to a happy life. And we'll help with that best we can. Cindy has some input on how you might do that, how we help people have good careers. Are you ready, Cindy?
Yes, we do this by connecting you to informational resources. We can find facts about occupations such as what tasks do you perform on the job, how much education is needed, what salary will you earn, and will there be fewer jobs in the next 10 to 20 years or more? We can find other pertinent information as well. So we've collected many good free online informational resources on the Career Exploration Center webpage, which is found on the Santa Fe website. These resources help you to find information on careers, majors, and colleges. Of course, it's impossible to read all the information available. That's why we have career assessments. Jimmy will tell you more about those.
Okay, can I share my screen? Let's assume I can. Or, Cindy, are you still sharing?
And just stopped.
Okay, let me go back to share video. It's gonna let me share screen. And I'll pull up my plan. All right, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I have it up. Where is it hiding from me? I'll go ahead and tell you that my plan is a program that we will license for our users at the Career Center to help them look at themselves in more depth and to find out about careers, colleges, and majors. We can find it over here on our homepage for the Career Center under Careers. And it's the first link, my plan, myplan.com. Show you real quickly what this has in it. Oops, not private, that's okay. Can I see it anyway? Okay, proceed to my plan, we know it's safe. Okay, so my plan has 4 assessments. And I'm going to start with that, then we'll show you some of the other features later. It has 4 assessments that are good for people who are not clear on what they want to do. Now, the assessments are free if you use our license code. And by the way, all the Career Exploration Center services are free for our students and users. So we have a personality test, an interest inventory, a skill profiler, and a values assessment that asks you about yourself, then suggests career fields that would match what you said about yourself, and then offer to show you occupations that match whatever that factor is. Now, what these programs are not good for, they are not good for telling people what to do. That is wrong. When programs try to tell you what to do, it's wrong two ways. It's wrong morally and ethically because we should not tell you anything you should do. It's your choices. And they're also wrong technically because they're using very simple rationale to make suggestions. So when you look at a list of jobs and see something silly, like I had a really expensive program once that suggested I'd be a showgirl. How did it know I was so cute? But it left out one simple fact: I can't dance. So I know we're so cute. Well, but what programs can do well is help people gain clarity on themselves, clarity on the job market, and make their own decision. And my plan's a good program for that. We'll get back to that in just a little while. Over to Cindy. Are you ready?
I am.
We're not really done yet.
And we're sharing my screen now. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the different programs of study that we have at Santa Fe. There's two different tracks. The Career and Technical Education program track is the one that prepares you for entry into the workforce. These jobs are high wage and they're in high demand. They include certificates, Associate of Science, and Bachelor of Science programs. The Associate of Arts programs are the first 2 years of a 4-year bachelor's degree. This table shows you about how long it takes to graduate from these programs. Now, this is if you go to school full time. CTE certificates take a few weeks to 18 months. AS, or Associate of Science programs, take approximately 2 years. And the bachelor's program is added on for an additional 2 years to make a 4-year bachelor's degree. Associate of Arts are transfer programs. You start with 2 years of study at Santa Fe College, then complete the remaining 2 years of the bachelor's degree by transferring to the university or 4-year college of your choice. Bachelor's degrees lead to a variety of occupations, and these occupations may need a master's degree or even a doctoral degree added on. This slide shows the average annual earnings compared to your educational attainment. So in general, the more education you have, the more you can earn. Jimmy's going to talk a little more about bachelor's degrees now.
Yes, there are two topics on bachelor's degrees. Let me go ahead and share the screen. Let me get my mouse go. There's my mouse. Okay. We'll share back to, once I find Zoom. Okay, got Zoom. I can share screen. Here's one for you. One of my favorites, Santa Fe's homepage. I recommend visit often. If you go to the Academics tab on our homepage and scroll down and over to Programs of Study, this is a quick way to look at all the programs of study available at Santa Fe College. And it will let you look at our certificate programs, relatively short, bachelor's, AS degree, and a advancement track. We'll come back to our bachelor's in just a moment. The majority of our students are in the Associate of Arts degree program, AA degree, which is not a complete education. It's the first 2 years of a 4-year bachelor's degree. So once one is done with their AA degree, they're expected to transfer on to UF, UCF, UNF, at some 4-year college or university and get a bachelor's degree, or perhaps continue on to one of our own bachelor's degrees at Santa Fe. And these are not all of the options, but these are just good headers for the types of options one might go to. I'm going to skip to another screen. The majority of our AA students would like to go to UF, so I often direct people to go to the UF's page if they're interested in UF, go to Academics and then Catalog, Programs, and then Majors, and this pulls up a list of all the bachelor's degree majors available at the UF. Now you can do this, we can help you do this for any college in the country. We're not just set on UF, there are many other good schools out there. This is just the one most of our students want to go to, and it's a great example because I know the website really well. So now this brings up a page with the little pop-ups. Each one gives a brief description of each of the 140 or so majors available at UF. Here's a problem. Most students only know about 8 or 10 majors. There's over 140 at UF alone, and that's just one school of many. There's over 1,000 different majors available in the United States. What you can do here, you find one interesting, click on it'll bring up a description of that major where you can get it from the courses and so on. So that's one way to investigate other schools' majors and therefore backtrack and find out what Santa Fe program might lead to that major at that school. So let me go back to Santa Fe's program of study and go to the bachelor's level. If you decide you want to stay with the best state college in the country, which is us, there are a number of bachelor degrees available here. So if you happen to like any of these career fields or any of these programs of study, you could start at Santa Fe and either do the Associate of Science degree in that area, or in some cases you could do an AA degree and get into one of these programs of study. If you wonder what these are, talk to us, contact us, we'll help you go through them in more detail. Questions, comments, or back to Cindy?
Okay, well, one thing we didn't talk to you about was Career Coach. You can find Career Coach on our Career Exploration Center page. And with Career Coach, you can look up all kinds of programs of study and browse for careers. Let's say you don't know what to do with a history degree, but you're kind of interested in history. Well, here's where you can look at different options for what you can do as a history major. Let's say you want to know what an archivist does. Well, there's some information on this page, and you can click through each one of these tabs and learn a lot more about that. I'm going to hand it back to Jenny now.
Okay. Yeah, Career Coach is a great program, especially for looking at our particular programs of study and where they might lead. I'd like to go back to my plan though, because Career Coach is a great program, but it doesn't really show as much as most people want to know about career fields. So let me go back to share screen, if I can find it. Okay, share screen. And let's go back to programs of study. This will be a good one to start with. If we got to go back to programs of study, I'll just go up here and go back to myplan.com. Quick way to get there. Now, if you want to know more about particular careers or majors, you can go to careers. And if you have a career field in mind and would like to look it up, just type something in. Like I typed in PSY for psychology. That was my first degree. And then it'll bring up a list of occupations that contain that keyword or that key list. Some of them may not be exactly what you have in mind, but that's a way to stretch a little bit to find out what other kinds of occupations might relate to a particular career field, like PSY. It does not appear in marriage and family therapist. That's one of the occupations that a degree in psychology might lead to. Let's use that as an example. Click on marriage and family therapist, and I'll bring up a summary of what is this job, what does one do. It'll offer to play a short video on most of these occupations. It'll suggest some related careers that might also be of interest, a little bit about the job requirements, some bullet points of things they think the person might want to know before making a commitment to this field, the average salary, not too bad, the degree or degrees that might qualify you to this field. Now here's another error of reasoning many students make, is they assume that for any one job there is one and only one major. Sometimes that's true. If you want to be a pharmacist, you gotta get a graduation program in pharmacy. But if you want to be a marriage and family therapist, there are several degrees that could qualify you for that. So it's not always a one-to-one mix like that. So you can go into more depth. If you like this occupation and want to know more about it, you can go to the top and click on description where it goes into more depth about it. You can go into requirements where it describes that much better. Under salaries, it'll show you how salaries have changed in this field for the last few years. Looks like relatively steady growth. If you go to salary by state, go to employment, I'm sorry, salaries have grown. The employment has, well, a little dip here and there, but pretty rapid growth in the last few years. Rapid growth suggests an open job market, relatively easy to find jobs in that field. For most occupations, you can also get the employment and salary by state and city. So if you'd like to know how much you would make in this area as opposed to one of the larger metropolitan areas. Now, sometimes they don't put all the cities. That's okay. If you want to find Gainesville, we can look that up through other sources that are more thorough. That's just a little more work. They just put usually the larger metropolitan areas in this program. So that's one way to look up occupations. There are many other good sources that you can use that go into more depth than this does, but my plan's often a very good starting point.
Hey, Jimmy and Cindy, I'm going to break in for a moment. Great information, and we have a lot of questions coming in. So why don't we field some of those?
Okay.
So the first question I have just has to do with your office. Are your offices open yet? And do I need an appointment to speak with you?
Yes, our offices are open virtually because of the COVID-19 protocols. But we can do just about anything that you need because most of our resources are online. So students can access us by going into eSanta Fe and making an appointment with us. People from the community can look at our website, the Career Exploration Center page, go to the contact tab, and we have a place for you to put in your information so we can get back to you.
Fantastic. Okay, we've got another question. It says, I will have my BAS this summer. I currently work in retail and would like to make a transition into something more challenging. What are the next steps after the completion of my degree?
Who answers that one?
Well, I can probably feel that one, you're right, since we overlap so much.
I can feel it
next
too.
step. Oh, go ahead.
Well, my next step would be to call us or write us at the Career Exploration Center. And we could talk about what would be more exciting to you, what career fields are interesting enough you'd like to continue to them, what will give you the living you want. And then once we've got some ideas of that, we'll transition back to James, who can talk about the real jobs that are out there right now that might support you while you pursue your passion. Let me go ahead and interject a little thing here. When I talk with people about careers, I often hear two voices coming up, and sometimes they argue with each other. One voice I call the parental voice that says, you need a job, salary, sick leave, retirement, insurance, a health plan. Are you going to be able to buy a house, buy a boat, buy a car, take vacation? And you know that voice has a point. Well, we have another voice that talks back, which I call the child. The child is a person that wants excitement, adventure, wants to grow, wants to learn, wants to have superpowers, wants to do great things. You know, that voice has a point too, because it's in touch with our mission on this planet. What are you here for? So I recommend we do a career path, find a career path that will ultimately satisfy both voices, that'll give you the living you want, the lifestyle you need, and the resources with which to pursue your child, because the child is not trivial, it's really who we are and who we want to become. So thanks for letting me in that little aside. I'm rather proud of it.
We've got one more question. This is from the YouTube chat. They ask, what do job prospects look like in Gainesville, specifically in the creative field?
Well, we can use the Career Coach tool to help you look that up, especially since there's so many different creative fields out there. And I would recommend that you contact us so we can consult personally on that. But again, Career Coach is a great tool. And also, I would say Occupational Outlook Handbook.
Agreed. We do have some fantastic opportunities here in town. And Gainesville is a very creative town. We've got a lot of video production, just a lot of different types of creative occupations. So definitely take a look. Jimmy, Cindy, thank you for joining us today. This is great information. One of the things Jimmy did not share about himself is that he's quite mechanically inclined and builds tools or toys, depending on how you view it, to help reach his audience. From model rockets to electric guitars and anything you could possibly imagine on a 3D printer, Jimmy's the one to talk to. So again, thank you both for being here.
Yes.
Thank you. This is fun.
Our next guest is from our Business Programs Department. Please welcome Dr. Rem Jim, Banerjee Baptiste, and Joseph Remy, and Taysir Orta. Rem Jim, do you have a favorite breakfast beverage, and would you like to share this morning?
Thank you for having me today. I'm excited. Yes, I do. My favorite beverage is coffee, regular 100% Colombian coffee with a little bit of cream. And as you can see, I'm having it in my favorite mug, my business programs department mug. So that's my favorite. And I can't start my day without the coffee. So that's about it. So I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to have a couple of my students here with me. Joseph is in the AS degree in the management track, and Tazir is in the AS degree risk management and insurance track. I'm happy to have them, and if you want to know anything about their experiences as a student in this program, feel free to ask them. So without further ado, I'm going to jump into my presentation. So I'm here to present about the two Associate of Science degree. The career exploration just mentioned that the Associate of Science degrees make you ready for workforce. So they are specifically meant for you to get trained so that you can jump into the workforce and be ready. So I'm talking about the two tracks. One is the management track and one is the insurance and risk management track. So if you're talking about the success rate of our program here at Santa Fe, the graduates of these two degrees, they are employed at a rate of 88%. The average salary in the management track is $55,170, and in the risk management track is about $51,850. So what kind of jobs do people who get the management degree get? They get jobs as office managers, store managers, executive assistant, HR manager, operations manager. These are the typical job titles for graduates from this degree. For those who graduate from the risk management and insurance track, they get jobs as underwriters, claims investigators, customer service representatives, risk managers. And here the salaries, they range from mid-40s till mid-50s. For example, a risk manager would have a salary of about 55, and then customer service representative would have a salary of about mid-40s and late 40s. So the other neat thing about the risk management and insurance track is that once you graduate, you automatically can apply for these 3 state licenses without taking the state exam. Those are the personal lines agent, the customer representative, and the health insurance agent. So you don't take the state exam, you apply for these licenses, you get your background check done, and you are licensed. Now these two programs, as well as our entire department, we are members of ACBSP, which is the Global Business Education Accrediting Body, and we are working to get our programs accredited. So what that means is that when the programs are accredited by ACBSP, the value of these degrees will go way higher, and they will open up many, many more doors for you as you graduate from the program. And our timeline to get this accreditation done is about 2 years from now, 1.5 to 2 years from now. Now, as far as our curriculum, what do you learn when you go through these two degrees? You have classes ranging from management, economics, marketing, human resources, international business, all the way to public speaking, computer software, writing, those things you need for any career. But the core classes are about 45 credit hours, and they come from management, economics, HR, or leadership, all those kind of classes. Insurance, if you're in the insurance track, business law. And I want to point out a thing here about our curriculum. Our faculty, we make sure that a curriculum is very current and responsive to what is going on in the field, in the sense that, for example, now we have the pandemic. So there are a lot of things that are happening, especially for example, in the human resources area, about how employers have taken the protocols to keep their employees safe, how they're managing the opening back up the businesses. So in our curriculum, we incorporate those case studies and we incorporate those kind of application-based learning. So when you join our programs, you will graduate with the current knowledge, and I wanted to make that point. What does make us competitive? Well, we have, for both the programs, we have a mandatory internship, and that entails you taking a 3 credit hours class and doing an internship for 90 to 120 hours, which could be paid or unpaid. We make you go through a learning contract or a learning agreement with the employment or rather the internship site. And at the end of the internship, we get an evaluation from your internship supervisor. So that is a mandatory part of both the degrees that I'm talking about. We have partnerships. We recommend you making those contacts and securing the internship. In the internship, we also make you go through some career development choices, activities rather, like making your resume so that you get a job, a permanent job after you graduate. You create your LinkedIn profile. So those are all the things you go through when you go through the internship class. We also have a study abroad program in both the degrees. It is optional, it's recommended because the reason it's recommended is because it lets you experience international business environments to see how businesses operate in other countries. Currently, we do a 10-day trip to Barcelona, and for the tuition that is entailed in taking that study abroad trip is covered by financial aid. It's a 3 credits class again, IBS 2930, it's an independent study, and scholarships are available to support the program. So study abroad is recommended, and it is a great line to add on to your resume when you apply for jobs, showing that you have that international experience to make you competitive in the job market. We also have meetings that we have our students attend at local professional associations, such as the local North Florida chapter of the Society of Human Resource Management. You get to network with local HR professionals, you attend their chapter meetings, and these are also optional, but again recommended. So these are some of the things that I would say make our programs very competitive, because there are a lot of colleges that offer AS degrees in business administration, and I just wanted to point out what are the things, why should you come to Santa Fe to pursue this degree. The other thing is, yes, the AS degree is a degree that makes you ready for the workforce. However, we have bachelor's programs at Santa Fe, such as organizational management, such as accounting, such as health services administration, and about half of the students who are pursuing these degrees at Santa Fe itself, they come from our AS degree. So if you are so inclined, and if you want to pursue your bachelor's, you can start with the AS degree and then you can transfer into those bachelor's programs. So that's something also additional I wanted to mention here. However, the AS degree is primarily to get you ready for the workforce. Now, these are some of the internship sites that our students have interned in. I just wanted to put that up on a slide. You can see that it comes, the local businesses here, they support us and they take our interns. We also have an advisory committee that gets renewed every 2 years, and these are members from the local business community that serve on our board or our advisory committee. They give us feedback about the interns they have, the graduates, our graduates that they employ, so that we can take their feedback, we can incorporate their feedback and their suggestions and recommendations into our curriculum. So I just wanted to let you know that we are very much in touch with the community businesses. they are our valuable partners and stakeholders. So we are not like in a silo, just offering classes and have nothing to do with the community. So just wanted to let it be out there. And if you have any questions, you can go to our website. Actually, it's here at the bottom of this slide. It's if you go to Santa Fe College's website and you type business administration in the search box, you will be able to get to our website. We have our academic advisors, Doug Robertson and Catherine Lawton, who would be able to advise you about the classes, the scheduling, if you're a full-time student or if you're a part-time student. Thank you very much.
You know, and we do have a couple of questions actually coming in. So this question is for the students. So students, please feel free to share. Why did you choose a path in business management or your specific major? And what do you enjoy the most of your time at Santa Fe so far?
I'll take that one. Is the reason why I chose the AS degree first off was because like Dr. Rinjin Banerjee Baptiste mentioned, it's sort of a fast track to jump into the workforce, but also there's the opportunity to move into the bachelor's degree. And also the faculty at Santa Fe has been great. I've developed relationships with a lot of the instructors and a lot of the students, and it's been very helpful for me.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Taser?
Hello. Yes. I chose this career because, like Joseph say, it's an easy path to just come to the work, and I like the advisors are very helpful. Most likely, I'm like most of the students that they go and they don't know what career because it's so many. I just went there and tell them how I was, my personality, what I'm looking for. I just went specific to the point, and they just told me, "There you go. This is what we have on the table. I think you fit for this," and that's how I choose this career, and it's been awesome. I'm so blessed.
That's
All right.
amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. We've got some questions for you, Rim. This one has to do with internships. It says, do you work with local employers and business programs to create internships or work experience opportunities? And there's a second part that was asked by someone else that says, do you have paid internships?
Well, this is how the internships work right now, and we are continually building on the model. Right now, you will have to secure the internship. We give you all the pointers, all the resources of how you can go about secure it, but actually securing it is you have to do that. And the paid and unpaid part also works on an individual basis. So if the organization has paid internships and you start looking for that from our internships only happen in the spring semester. So if you are planning on doing the internship in the upcoming spring of 2021, I would suggest that you start doing your homework from now and see which organizations offer the kind of internships you want. Do you want paid internship, and what kind of work activities would you like to learn that matches what your major is? So if you're, if you're insurance and you look out for the insurance companies here and what kind of insurance, internships they offer, then you would get an idea of what you want to do. So yes, there is no hard and fast reply to this, whether we offer paid internships. The answer is that it depends on the organization where you intern. And Taser can just jump in here to say about her internship, if that was paid or not.
Yes, so I started my internship with Linda Thomas. She's an all-state agent here in Gainesville. She's located in Jonesville. When I had the interview with her about the possibility of doing my internship in her company, she kind of asked me if I had to be on pay or these questions. Um, personally, I wanted more their knowledge than getting paid because some company, they kind of like, well, you here for the money or you're not. So I kind of let her know that it doesn't matter whatever she choose from. I still interest on the internship because she gonna pretty much, even though I getting paid for my time, she was teaching me, taking me under her wing. So that's kind of another payment. It just depends of the person or what your goals, or what you're looking for. I looking for experience, um, and I think that was pay enough. So I just let her know that I wasn't not into just the payment, but as well as the experience. So, but at the end, she did pay me some because the distance, the class, and I was doing a very well job, and I did so well that she actually, after my internship, she offered me a job, which I was working with her for a little bit, but unfortunately, due to the COVID-19, my kids being out of school, so I couldn't. I had to stop a minute, like not stop, I paused until everything get situated with all this situation. But it just depends on the intern.
Fantastic, thank you. Rimjin, we've got one more real quick question. The commenter writes, are all types of insurance covered in this management program so I can be licensed for all types?
Well, we just have those three that I mentioned, and yes, you would be licensed because when you graduate from the degree, you will be. I mean, you have to apply for it, but you don't have to take the exams.
Fantastic. Rimjin, Tazier, Joseph, thank you for joining us today. I'm so thankful we have so many young people interested in entrepreneurship, running their own business, and a team of true professionals to help them get the skills and credentialing they need to do so. Best of luck in all of your future pursuits, and thank you for being with us. Next, I'm excited to have Kina Winchin joining us to share information about my favorite place, the Learning Commons. Whether it be tutoring, academic success, coaching, or study skills workshops, the Learning Commons is designed to support the academic achievement of every single student to promote learning, resilience, persistence, and academic success. I took that right from their website. Kina, thank you so much for joining us today. The floor is yours. Don't forget the coffee, though.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me. As far as coffee goes, I would say that I am as far from a purist as one could get. My husband jokes with me and says that I like a little coffee with my cream and sugar. So perhaps that's drawing on my southern roots. But this is so exciting. Thank you for having me. So far, I've really enjoyed the podcast with all the great information. I always enjoy the opportunity to talk about the Learning Commons and share some of the great stuff that's happening there. I have a couple of things to share with you today. But first, a shout out to my amazing team members, Lee Delano, Director of the Learning Commons. I also work with Larry Warren, STEM and Business Tutoring Coordinator, and Olabumi Ogentolu, our Language Arts Tutoring Coordinator. And joining me is also one of our students and tutors in the Learning Commons, Kanju Shin. So Shin, could you tell us, I'm gonna pass it to Shin and let her do all the talking. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself, what your major is, what you tutor in the Learning Commons, and how long you've been doing that?
Sure. So I'm majoring in chemistry right now at Central College. So I tutor Chinese at Learning Commons, and I have been tutoring for almost 3 years now. I was a tutor as a volunteer in my whole high school for a little bit over 2 years.
Thank you so much. It's always nice to hear what students, directly from our students. In the last couple of years, we have seen the physical space of the Learning Commons located within our library on the Northwest campus become a comprehensive academic resource. Shin, for someone who doesn't really know exactly what a Learning Commons is, could you describe what a student might see when coming to the Learning Commons?
Sure. So the Learning Commons house all of our academic support service for students, including tutoring for all math, language, and many of our science and business courses. In addition, our writing tutors can help with all level of writing from pre-writing to creating citations. As you might know, Syndicate is a writing across the curriculum college, so students often seek the feedback from our writing tutors on everything from history and psychology papers to microbiology lab reports. But the Learning Commons also is just a good place to hang out. Lots of open space, flexible seating, charging station, and even a coffee shop. Students can meet for coffee or study together in our new state-of-the-art study rooms. And as Kita mentioned, students can just connect with any of our dedicated tutors in the Learning Commons.
Thank you so much, Shin. I'm gonna keep you talking. What else goes on in the Learning Commons?
The Learning Commons is also a place that students can get connected with an academic coach. So academic coaches meet with students to strategize ways to be successful in college. They can help students reach their goals by developing a customized plan. Coaches are just great to talk to if you have any questions about how to do college.
Thank you, Shin. As an academic coach myself, my conversations with students lately have focused on time management, study strategies for online courses, and how to become a better learner. But coaching is actually more than that. For many students, having that one person that they can connect with, celebrate accomplishments with, or to discuss challenges to success can really be valuable in retaining a student here at Santa Fe. We want students to feel like they truly belong here. And when they look around, we want them to have no doubt that Santa Fe was the right choice. Students can meet with a coach through the new virtual Learning Commons course in Canvas or by emailing academic success coaching at sfcollege.edu. And by the way, I should mention that all of these services are free to our students. Hey Shin, as a student and an SF student yourself, as a tutor and an SF student yourself, you might have some insight as to what students are saying about the Learning Commons.
Yes, so students have told me that they love the space, that the tutors make them feel comfortable and that they have learned ways to become a better learner, which has made them more confident.
Well, that's good news for sure. As you can see, the Learning Commons is not just a place to go when you are struggling, but a place to engage with others even if you are doing well. We love to see students at all levels working together, and you will often hear our team saying that our most successful students come early and come often. But due to the pandemic, the Learning Commons had to quickly find a way to transition all of these services online to support our students who would be taking courses exclusively online. And our team, shout out to Steve Jensen from the IT department, as well as our folks from Communications and Creative Services, created a virtual Learning Commons pretty quickly. All of the student support services that were available face-to-face prior to the pandemic were moved online to an SF Learning Commons Canvas course, and this is amazing. Students can access the course by clicking on a link in the global navigation bar on the left-hand side of Canvas. And once students log in there, they can access links directly into the Zoom meetings with tutors and academic success coaches. The demand for these services has been incredible, and we've actually expanded tutoring to the weekends and now offer math tutoring a couple of nights a week till 11 p.m. So just trying to meet the students where they are, because we know that students don't always study in the morning. Sometimes they just begin to study in the evenings. So even when we are able to return to campus, we will still offer students the option to connect with tutors remotely. This is one of the silver linings of the pandemic. Hey James, if there are any questions in the chat box, or if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
So I do have a question that we get asked often. Do you need to make an appointment for tutoring?
No appointment is needed. Our tutors and coaches are available per the posted hours, again, available online. You can actually go to our sfcollege.edu website and just type in Learning Commons. Or again, as mentioned before, through the Canvas Commons, through the Learning Commons Canvas course, we have hours of availability when coaches and tutors are available.
I've got a question for you, Kina, and you've mentioned it, but I want to hear you say that little four-letter word. How much does it cost to use one of your meeting rooms?
James, it's free.
There it
The
is.
cost is free.
Do I have to reserve it in advance? And what if I just want to have a get-together with some of my friends or fellow students?
You're speaking of the study rooms, James?
I am.
Yeah. So when we were in our physical space, students could reserve study rooms up to 2 weeks in advance, actually online or from any of our kiosks that were located in the physical space. Now we are developing a way for students to connect with each other virtually. So stay tuned for that.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much for having me. And Shin, thank you.
One last question for you. How do students find other students to make study groups?
So yeah, we're working on that. Within the Learning Commons is a great space for students to come in and engage with others and either serendipitously meet and be able to work together and engage with each other, because we know that learning is enhanced when students can work with each other. Within this new virtual Learning Commons space, we are again developing a place and a space where students can come to connect with others. So stay tuned on that. It's being developed, but that is something we definitely want to incorporate into our virtual Learning Commons.
Awesome. Kenya, Shin, thank you and your team for all that you do. I was able to tour the Learning Commons not so long ago for everything, and it's amazing. I hear a lot from our students that they really, really get a lot out of it. So thank you for everything that you do. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Now I will be returning it to James.
Well, as mentioned at the beginning of the show, our featured employer, McDonald's Corporation, was not able to join us today, and it looks like we're about out of time. I had a great presentation about cover letters, but I think we're going to reserve that for a later date. We do have some questions, a couple questions that came in sort of in general that I want to move towards. So if you will bear with me, let's pull some of those up. The first question, we were talking about cover letters, or we were going to, but we had a question come in that asking about thank you letters and asking if thank you letters are still necessary. And, thank you letters are one of those things we all like to be recognized for our efforts, and interviewing is no different. To recognize somebody who took their time to meet with you, and I do believe a thank you of some sort is in order. But that being said, I'm not a big fan of the traditional thank you letter. Now, don't get me wrong, I follow up, but instead of just saying thanks, I try to offer something. I offer to provide or expound upon information that's in my resume, or possibly supply something. In an interview, just like in a radio or a podcast, we forget things and we think about them after we've moved on, and we want to get those in. So what a great opportunity in a thank you letter or a follow-up letter to present some information that maybe we forgot or think it's going to be, it's going to bolster us as far as getting that job. So again, thank you letters, important, but try and make them useful. Try and put some good quality information. Limit the number of emails, because imagine how many emails an HR person is getting. We don't want to bog them down, because even the best HR person does get bogged down with multiple emails coming in from multiple applicants. That's a great question, though. Do we have any others? There we go. Go ahead.
I just wanted to jump in because I do have a real experience with one of our internship students last spring, where he interviewed for an internship position, and he was told that they're going to get back to him later, and so he's waited, and but by that time he had already sent a thank you letter, and with some information that he missed during the initial interview for internship. And he believes that because of it was a pretty critical piece of information that he missed out. He believes because of the thank you letter, he got the internship at that place. So I just wanted to reinforce what you just said, that thank you letter can have a lot of meaning and a lot of value if you, if you put the correct information in there.
Fantastic, thank you. That definitely is exactly what I was trying to get at, and a real world example does a fantastic job of doing that.
Awesome. Well, we're out of time, unfortunately. If there's anything specific you would like us to cover in an upcoming episode, whether it be a specific department at Santa Fe College or maybe a local employee, we would try to reach out to them and try to get them on the show as soon as possible. So let us know once again in the comment section, and back to you, James.
Fantastic. Please keep an eye open for our next broadcast, which is scheduled for July 16th. And more importantly, don't hesitate to reach out to us if you have questions or need assistance. While we weather the storm, all of us at Santa Fe College want you to know we're here for you and we are committed to your success. From all of us at Career Coffee Shop, thank you. Have a great 4th of July. Stay safe and enjoy the rest of your day. See you next time.